Hi guys, today I wanted to make a quick video to answer this type of question that I always get, which is what's the difference between a 401k versus an index universal life or IUL. But basically they're two different saving vehicles, but I wanted to, although they're two different saving vehicles, I wanted to compare the two simply because everyone knows what a 401k is, especially if you work in a job or in a corporate structure, or even if you work at a school, you'll have a 401k or a 403b if you work for a school. So let's get into it. So first, I got to remind everyone why they're different, why they're two different vehicles, why they're two different saving vehicles. And so the first, so I'm just gonna talk about the three buckets of taxes. In the USA, there's really three buckets of taxes where you earn your money. So the first bucket is called the tax now, and the second bucket is called the tax later, and the third bucket is called the tax advantage. So the first bucket is called the tax now, and all the accounts in this bucket is funded with after-tax money or gross amounts. And these type of accounts are called bank accounts, mutual funds, stocks, bonds, real estate. And basically, every year, when your money is sitting in these accounts, every year, uh, whatever you gain, you have to pay a piece to Uncle Sam for taxes. So each of these lines represents every year that you pay a tax. So when you first start, the end of the year, you'll have to pay tax on your gains, and same thing every year. And the benefit of this account is that the money in this account is very liquid, except for real estate. But I just put this in because a lot of people love real estate, and so. But yeah, the money in these accounts are very liquid, except for the real estate. I just do that one in there because it's tax now. The next bucket is called tax later, which is think of this account, think of this bucket like your retirement accounts, right? So your IRA, your SEP, IRA, your 401k, your 403b, your pension, and your annuity. In this bucket, the money is not taxed when you put it in because it's funded with pre-tax dollars. So that means you haven't paid tax on it yet. And it's depicted by this graph. So in the early years, you don't pay any taxes, right? So that's why it's blank. But then in the year you take it out or the year you retire, you will have to pay the tax on that current rate the year you take it out. So think of this bucket as like a temporary tax deduction, where you get a temporary tax deduction now, but in the future when you take it out, you will pay it back with interest. And then the last bucket is what we call the tax advantage. The money in these accounts are there's no tax implication because you've already paid the tax on it. So think of these account is funded with after-tax dollars. So think of it as like a Roth IRA, your Roth 401k, your 529 plan, and also in this bucket is also what we call cash value life insurance, or 7702. But there's really four types of life insurance with cash value, and that is whole life, universal life, variable universal life, or index universal life. For the sake of for this example, which is comparing index universal life, or what we'll shorten as IUL. And so the way this bucket works is you fund it with after-tax dollar, and so you pay the tax up front, but then the money sits in there and it grows tax deferred and tax free. So think of this bucket as like paying the taxes on the seed, and this one pays the taxes on the harvest. So to reiterate why the IUL compared to the 401k are two different saving vehicles is simply because of the tax implication on both of them. So the IUL is sitting in the tax advantage bucket, and the 401k is sitting in the tax later bucket. Again, they're two different saving vehicles. One is a tax later vehicle, and one is a tax advantage vehicle. I'm just comparing this 401k because everyone has a 401k, and everyone knows what a 401k is. Okay, so the next we want to talk about is comparing the two. So I want to ask yourself, where are you currently saving your money? Are you saving it in this bucket where every year any growth you get, you will have to pay taxes if you access this money? The pros about this is that the money in this account is very liquid except for the real estate. The money in this account is you get a temporary tax deduction now, but then in the future, you will have to pay tax on whatever that tax rate is in the future. And then in this bucket is tax advantage because you don't pay any tax on this money that is growing. So first, let's compare the highest levels of a 401k or slash a 403b. Is funded with pre-tax money. Again, it's going with pre-tax money, and then you might have an employer match. The stocks inside of a 401k or 403b can go up or down. So it could be any value at any time, especially if it's down. The drawback is that you have to be 59 and a half to withdraw this money. But if you're before 59 and a half and you withdraw this money, then you would have to pay a 10% penalty fee. The tax consequences could be 20 to 40%, depending on when you listen to this, but the tax consequence could be 20 to 40%, and the loan interest is 4 to 8%. In an IUL, it's self-funded with after-tax money. There's no match because you're putting this for yourself and your family, so there's no really employee match. But the best one of the features that this has is that there's downside protection and upside potential, meaning if the market goes to a certain level, then your money is safe or you don't go negative. And then upside potential, you get upwards of up to double-digit returns. There's no age requirements to withdraw, but there are some terms and conditions that you may apply. That terms and conditions may apply. I'll talk more about that in a future video, but just know that there's no age requirement to withdraw your money. You might have to pay a fee, but there's no age requirement. Over here, you have to pay a fee, and if you're under age 59 and a half, you would have to pay a fee. But here, you may have to pay a fee, you may not, but that's why I said there's terms and conditions may apply. No early withdrawal penalty. So as long as you pay the fee in this, if your program, in certain programs, in certain life insurance programs, if you take it out by a certain time, you might have to pay a penalty, if you will. But there's no early withdrawal penalty, and there's no tax consequences on the money you access. And when you take this money out, there's no interest or payback required. So I'm a numbers guy, and let's put some numbers to it. So let's say in your 401k at age 59 and a half, you withdraw $1 million, right? And let's just assume you're at the highest tax rate, 40% in retirement. So that means that to get 1 million, when you withdraw 1 million, you would have to pay $400,000 in taxes, right? So 40% of 1 million is about 400,000. So you'll net 600,000 after taxes. On this side, at age 59 and a half, if you want to withdraw 1 million, no taxes on your money, because it is a life insurance program. It is a life insurance, a type of cash value life insurance so there's no taxes. So in this example, if you're pulling out 1 million at age 59 and a half, you'll pay 0 in taxes. So you'll get 1 million net after taxes. So let me ask you, what side would you rather have, the 401k or the IUL side? So I don't know about, so again, this is just to serve as a concept, as a conceptual video. And your numbers may be different, so please reach out to me if you want me to run your numbers. All right. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to sharing more information in future recordings.